Hi babes and welcome to this episode of the Final FronTia. Now our guest this week is a legendary comedian. They have been performing all over the UK for a long time. They're an icon of the Edinburgh Festival Fringe and you may have seen them on television shows such as Strictly Come Dancing. It's Jayde Adams.
Who knew you and I were going to match?
We're matchy. We're basically twins.
It's more matchy than we were when we hosted that event together.
Switchboard's 50th.
Yeah.
That was a great day.
Yeah. We were really good.
Oh, we're starting. Okay. We opened that with Rebecca Black's Friday.
Who has ever sang Rebecca Black's Friday in that context before?
I'm not even sure Rebecca Black has.
No, I don't think she has.
No. But we did.
I've not been doing cocaine.
Yet? No, I'm not saying.
We do not endorse drugs.
No, never.
We're on telly.
Thanks for coming. You
Pleasure.
look fantastic.
How are we matching?
This is purely by coincidence.
Yeah, this is nuts. This is crazy that we're in. It's not even like a little bit the same. It's like completely and utterly the same two colours.
Identical. Twinning and winning.
Well, we did say after we did Switchboard's 50th birthday that we want more jobs, and we asked our joint publicist. We haven't got one together, but we did ask Simon if we could do some more hosting, and that has not happened yet.
Simon Jones PR. This is we're putting you on blast. That's his full name. Hyphenated.
Simon Jones PR.
Hyphenated surname.
Where's our gigs?
Joint hosting. What do you think we could host together? I feel like that's a good thought experiment.
Okay, what could we host together? The Ritz.
Okay.
You know, like afternoon tea at the Ritz.
Yeah.
I'm not walking around, you know, like they do at drag brunches.
Oh, that's not for me.
I'm not walking around I'm not having anyone touch me. I want to be on a stage.
Yeah, very valid. I'm not even in drag right now. So
No.
I was thinking more like Strictly It Takes Two, that kind of vibe.
Yeah. Yes, we could host that.
Yeah.
But you aren't really allowed to have an opinion on stuff on there, which I think would be quite hard for both of us, really.
Are you not?
No, not really. You got to just be really happy about everything all the time on Strictly, especially if you're female.
Oh.
If you're a woman, you just got to be really happy to be there.
Have you seen that clip of in America they call it Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah.
Simone Biles was on it and the host said, I feel like you should smile more. And without missing a beat, Simone goes, smiling doesn't win you gold medals. Icon. Loved it.
Oh my God. They said that to Simone Biles?
Yeah.
I mean, her response was actually fantastic.
Indeed.
But also they said that to her.
On actual television.
She doesn't need to smile.
She can do what she wants.
She can do like 7 somersaults in a row.
Yeah, I can't even do one.
I can't. I barely can get out of this chair.
Maybe we should have been hosting the Olympics.
Oh, now that is an idea.
I didn't watch any of it, I can't lie.
I didn't watch a single thing. I'm not into Olympics, Lawrence. Tia?
No.
Tia?
Lawrence, whatever you prefer.
Lawrence. Yeah. I'm not into the Olympics.
Larry.
When was the last time someone called you Larry?
Probably my dad last week, to be honest.
I met your dad.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
He seems fab.
It's lovely.
It was literally a passing meeting, but yeah, we met each other.
Yeah. So he was wearing a rainbow tie.
He was wearing a rainbow tie.
Ally. Yeah.
My mum recently said to me, she went, so what, are you into girls now? And I was like, shut up, Mum! I all of a sudden became 15.
It happens.
I don't want to, I'm not having a coming out. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not having, a parade. I'm not going to, do a Guardian article about it. And also, it's not like I'm coming out. I just had a boyfriend for a long time, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm being sort of, when I was on that famous dancing show, they everyone was just trying to find out what I am the whole time.
That's weird.
I'm meant to be doing ballroom dancing. Didn't know this was about scissoring.
I'm a dancer, that's what I am.
I'm dancing is what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. But yeah, they were very, very intrigued and really policed by sexuality in a way that was just a bit icky.
That's strange.
You must have had it with the Drag Race fans, though.
Well, I mean, the Drag Race fandom have changed, I would say. over recent times. I felt like maybe around my original season.
Yeah. Friendlier.
Well, friendlier to me. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Sister was getting death threats.
Yeah, Sister had it hard.
For what reason? On what
Who
grounds?
knows?
So weird.
It's so weird when they choose that everyone hates Blake Lively at the moment.
What's she done?
Well, apparently she's too confident. But they're going. So basically, there was this. They're probably trying to sell the movie by putting this fake argument that's happened between her and the director of this film that she's bringing out at the same time as Wolverine and Deadpool's coming out. It's all trying to do a Barbenheimer, but it's all PR. We know what that sort of stuff's like. We've got our own Simon Jones PR.
Yeah. Simon's gonna love this.
He's gonna love it. What an advert! Yeah, babe. Do you know Simon's the best person I've ever worked with in the industry in terms of someone who's not on camera with me. He treats me so well. As in like in comparison to what I have been through in my career, the way I've been treated. I don't know if you've been through this as well. Just absolutely, it's been horrific. Like I was laughing with my mother this morning. I said, Mum, do you remember what I was like in 2016? She was like, oh yeah. I said, do you remember? I said, you can just see me, can't you? Like I said it on an Instagram post. You can just see me wandering into meetings in Soho going, hello, friend. Oh, what's this? A friendship contract? What's so we're tied together forever? Oh joy, oh whiz, I've always wanted a mate. Just like oversharing and being really vulnerable. It's different now. I got hard.
No, I feel that.
But Simon's been great. And yes, anyway, enough about Simon Jones. What were we saying just before Simon Jones came up and distracted me?
We spoke about Strictly. We were talking about fandoms. We were talking about Drag Race fans, death threats, sister. Then you twiddled this portion of the hat like it was your hair, and I found it adorable.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did. I noticed that.
You got ADHD?
Yeah, I did.
I don't have it diagnosed, but everyone else diagnoses me with it. I refuse to have it.
Just refuse on moral grounds.
I'm not having it.
Well, actually, I feel like I actually want to go through the diagnosis process properly.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't want to be another person who does stand-up comedy that talks about having ADHD.
Well, I feel like a lot of them at the moment, like, quite trendily talk about having a partner with ADHD.
They're all talking about it. It's been the topic of conversation at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival 2024.
Really?
Everyone's got ADHD. It basically allows a whole bunch of people that I've met to excuse them for their absolutely awful behaviour. Which is why I'm not going to get diagnosed with it, because I don't need an excuse for when I'm an arsehole.
Very valid.
I'm just an arsehole and I'm going to admit it. And I'm not going to be like, oh, my ADHD. I'm just going to be an arsehole.
Do you know, I had an experience with that quite recently, which I'll tell you about later, because I don't want the person who did it to think that they matter to me. So I won't mention it here.
Jombers.
It wasn't Jombers. We do love Jombers.
It was Jombers.
It's very that. I feel like the Edinburgh Fringe was also where I discovered drag.
Really?
Yeah, true story.
When?
So way back in the day, I used to take my own shows up to the Edinburgh Fringe, and I was like,
I did not know this about you.
it was a surprise.
What years?
So I think I used to go up like student theatre in like 2012, and then I took my own shows 2013, 14, 15.
We were there at the same time.
We were. And then I saw a show called Saucy Jack and the Space Vixens, and they had a drag character in it. And I went, I'm not going to wait for the auditions. I'm just going to get the rights. And then I did. And I played that role.
Oh,
I cast myself because I'm proactive. And that was where it all began.
So what were the outfits before you discovered that you were going to drag up?
What were the outfits?
Yeah, what were the looks then?
Skinny jeans. Like, just existing. No, I did all of my shows and stuff out of drag. I thought the first time I took my own show up, I thought I was like breaking boundaries. So I did a show where it was verbatim theatre. We took our real Facebook messages.
We should tell the people what verbatim theatre is.
Oh, verbatim theatre is like real text. Like you've taken like real interviews or like, why am I looking down the lens like it's an instructional?
We both know what it is, but the viewers may not, or the listeners may not.
We're educational.
So verbatim theatre is like, actually lip syncing technically is like the skill, isn't it?
I guess, yeah.
But that's just to music, but you can do, it's doing a play of the thing that's happened.
That's real. So you can like interview people who experienced it and then compile it, and then that becomes a verbatim play and like different versions. But we took our real Facebook messages and like crafted a plot. And like, I thought I was like so edgy, and we had like little torches in our pockets, and like when we were online, we'd like press the torch, and if we were offline, we'd just be like at the back.
That's a really good motif, that, with the
because it was a little circle.
Yeah.
And we had colourful skinny jeans for it, and it was nominated for a Les Enfants Terribles award. Thank you.
Was it?
Yeah.
Who knew?
I was a theatre maker.
But so then, when you stood in front of RuPaul saying all that stuff to you, you were like, "Excuse me, I was in the theatre." Because that's what I'd be thinking. I'd be like, how dare you? I went to Julie Adams dance school and did freestyle disco dancing. How dare you talk to me like that?
Do you know what? I thought very valid. I was like, you're actually quite right.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. But did you have that experience with the Strictly of it all, of being like, how dare you?
No, there wasn't a how dare you, because they didn't really come at me, to be fair. In fact, the audience were worse. The fans of Strictly are bad.
Well.
All the judges, they're just performers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not real. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this.
Well,
we'll find out. But they're just, like Craig's amazing. He's so fun.
Camp.
Yeah, really. And he's like a really nice person, but he doesn't tend, because he's got to play the villain.
Yeah.
He doesn't really interact with you until you're kind of at the show.
Okay.
And he's lovely. We follow each other online. There's a DM every now and again.
That's nice.
And he's really sweet and lovely and really camp and fun. He's been there, done everything, but he plays a part on a telly show. But the problem is with Strictly is they don't really admit that it's like a reality TV show.
Mm.
It's a sort of weird place where you're in between reality and non-reality, as in reality, not as in the telly version of reality, which essentially is an existential question: are they the same? But we don't. We're not going in there.
Philosophy.
We can't go there with this at. But no, they're all really nice. All the judges are gorgeous people. That I know of. I always say this with, you can't just be like, they're amazing, because someone felt that way about Russell Brand once.
Yeah. That was a time, wasn't it?
Yeah, we all knew. We knew for years. Everyone's like, why didn't you say? The thing is that in show business, you've got contracts, you're gagged. You can't say too much.
Some things aren't your story as well,
No,
which makes it difficult.
Yeah, you shouldn't be. They're not your story. That's really important. There's things I know about stuff, and you can't say anything because it's not your story.
That's the thing. Often with like things like that, it's like we've suddenly got very deep. When it's like, it is okay. When someone else has faced an issue, it's not sort of like your story to tell. And I think that's like one of the things, like Sister is a great example. I knew that she was going through all of this with the Drag Race fandom and receiving death threats and all of that kind of thing. I didn't feel like I could be like, stop being mean, until she had vocalized it, because people deal with things in different ways. And it might be quite traumatic for someone to be like, hey, stop sending death threats to someone, until they have like raised that it's okay for you to do that.
Yeah. I think the best advice I could ever say about that is just ask someone how you would like them to respond. I had someone phone me like 4 years ago to tell me about a really terrible thing that had happened to them, and I just said, how would you like me to respond? And she told me, and then that's how I responded. As at the same time as really hating that other person and never wanting my life anywhere near them. But I don't have it out with anyone or anything. I just allow the person to make that decision themselves.
Yeah. Although I'm very that. I'm like a fiercely loyal friend. So if like you tell me that someone's crossed you, I'm like, I hate them and I never want to speak to them ever again.
I've got a list.
Like a physical list, or like up here?
So after we do this, I'm going to give you a list of people that you can't have on this podcast.
Love.
If you want that list.
No, I really do.
I've got a bunch of them. Like sociopaths that I've met.
There's a lot.
There's so many.
Yeah, I've dated some.
In show business?
No, just in real life.
In general, yeah. I mean, we've all done that.
But like in showbiz, there's like a worse ratio, maybe.
Well, it's an attractive thing for people that are got severe mental health issues, because you get power and money in this job. And what do people who are unwell, like that, narcissistic people, they want power and money, and this is the way to get it, which is why there's such a massive amount of those people in this industry. And
Truly.
Then on top of that, with fandoms, like I'm a massive Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan, but
Strong.
I didn't ever come at anyone who was part of it when I was livid that when they ended it. I didn't have it out with anyone. I mean, it ended. It ended. So 2003 or 4, I think it was.
Yeah, about then, 2005, I think. Yeah.
So I didn't have a go at anyone, but it's different nowadays because we've given the people somewhere they can speak.
Twitter.
Whatever.
The talkie one. Yeah. Don't like it there. Find it very difficult sometimes to navigate. You seem to stumble across things just because of algorithms. So, like, no one's out there, or at least most people aren't out there searching for their own names. But because of algorithms, because you interact with things that you've been tagged in or something.
I do it all the time.
Search for your own name?
Yeah.
Okay, love that.
Yeah, but I when I was on, I did it on Strictly as well.
When you're like on a show, I think like I would watch every review video for UK versus the World Series too, even though I knew they were going to say Tia Kofi should immediately fall on her sword and die so Marina Summers can win. But like I would still watch it, and then I'd be like,
I think someone said that to me.
Really?
Yeah, like a fan said, "Oh, I saw you were working with Tia Kofi." I was like, "Oh yeah, she's my friend." It was like one of those people that wait to get you to sign stuff. I thought, "Oh, she's my friend," and then she said this sentence you just said, but I didn't watch it, so I didn't know what she was. Marina.
Oh yeah.
They said Marina, so that was what that was.
Yeah, that happens a lot. But you find that with people just sort of like pick a narrative and then don't like think about the nuance of the situation and like other elements of things that you might be bringing to the table that person isn't, or like vice versa. And that's quite difficult to like look at.
It's also telly as well.
Yeah,
it's not real.
No.
It's the most unreal thing in the world.
Just simply not the most important thing. There were literal race riots happening in this country a few weeks ago, and no one.
Did you go out in the street?
Yeah, I was throwing. No, I wasn't not at all. I stayed indoors because I was like, I'm brown, so this is not for me.
I'm not brown, but I am fat and I cannot run. So
stayed indoors.
Stayed indoors, yeah.
Yeah, we actually did speak about that.
Yeah, I know, we text.
Yeah, stay at home, it's not safe.
Yeah.
But that kind of stuff's like actually real and like makes a difference. But what is not real is like Chapel Roan's choosing a drag queen to perform with her. Like, you shouldn't apply if you're a Rue girl. She's
not doing that, is she?
Yeah, she is. But there was a whole thing on Twitter about who should be allowed to apply and who shouldn't. And I was like, just whoever wants to.
Done?
What, drag?
Yeah, like, lots of people have had drag queens.
Yeah, it happens a lot, surprisingly.
Try a new thing, Chapel Roan. Is this in a live context or in a video?
In a live context.
Okay, I suppose.
Yeah, like
she's taking dancers.
I have no idea.
Let's choose Chapel Roan's drag artists.
Yeah, we'll do it for right here on the Final FronTia.
Okay.
Jombers.
She's at the front.
Yes. Andrew, number 1.
Andrew for Chapel Roan.
Yeah,
that's it. Who else?
There's a lot. You've worked with a lot.
I know everyone. May.
Yes.
Just May Pete. I'd love a Jerry Halliwell impersonator to be behind. Also Ginger. I'd love a Jerry Halliwell impersonator to be behind Chapel Roan.
I mean, kind of iconic. Just the Gingers for life.
And I'm Ginger. Well, it's not natural. Solidarity.
I mean, whose is? Is Jerry Halliwell's hair naturally ginger?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it might have been a branding choice.
Yeah, I think so.
I think she's got brown hair.
She only wears white now. Do you know that?
She's also a Tory.
Is she?
Yeah. Sad times.
What's that about?
It seems to be like a choice that a lot of people make.
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to keep hold of your money a bit more.
I think that's like J.K. Rowling. She's gone mysteriously quiet since that lawsuit happened.
Oh, yeah. What was the lawsuit?
The female boxer who J.K. Rowling just decided to call a man was like, well, I'm not, so I'm going to sue you.
She got it massively wrong.
Yeah, J.K. deleted like 13 tweets, allegedly, and hasn't tweeted for a while, allegedly. So I think she's on the run, trying to hide.
It's a mad little world we live in these days, isn't it?
It's weird. It's a slippery slope, isn't it?
Who'd have thought that the woman who created Harry Potter, never watched it, by the way.
Fair.
Never read the books, never watched it.
I was an extra in the third film.
You were an extra?
Yeah.
Do the gays know?
It was before. It's okay, you can't see me.
Trans lives matter.
That is very true, and I agree. I will donate my extra fee to a trans charity.
Not a phase.
One of my faves.
And mine.
Yeah.
Danny St. James, we love.
Yeah, icon.
Yeah, that isn't it weird that it's Harry. The thing is Harry Potter isn't for me. It's for posh people. It's
What was
elitist.
your like equivalent of Harry Potter? If Harry Potter's like posh, was yours like Wizardora or like something?
Or like Tracy Beaker or something like that.
I do love Tracy Beaker.
Tracy Beaker was fantastic. I didn't really have an equivalent of Harry Potter, really. I just didn't do Harry Potter.
Fair.
Like, I just can't really relate to a little lad who's like goes to an elite school because his dad was there first. I just don't know.
It's nepotism.
I just don't have anything I can connect to. I know he lived under the stairs and he was bullied by his fat relatives, but I feel more related to his fat cousin.
Right, this is the thing that people don't talk about.
Go on.
Is that J.K. Rowling's a bad person, but I am talking about Harry Potter. His aunt Petunia was mean to Harry.
Is that Fiona What's Her Chops from is Aunt Petunia's played by Fiona Shaw?
Maybe, yeah.
I know her from Three Men and a Little Lady. I don't know if you watched that movie.
I didn't.
Did you not watch Three Men and a Little Lady? It's about three men.
Yeah.
Steve Guttenberg plays one. Tom Selleck, who's Monica's boyfriend, plays one.
Yes.
And Ted Danson. And they all basically have a baby turn up in the first movie. And then Sylvia, the baby's mum, comes and says she's an actress. And Ted.
So it's the sequel.
So it's the sequel to it. Right. And they all live together. So these three dads are like raising the baby with Sylvia, who's this actress, but then she like finds a guy and moves away. Anyway, Fiona Shaw, who hasn't aged, she runs the school academy where they want to send Mary, the little baby who's now an older kid.
Right.
Brilliant actress who plays Mary. And she plays the headmistress, but the headmistress is just very, very horny and she tries to fuck Tom Selleck over a desk.
I would.
And she's utterly fantastic, but again, not aged a day. And there's a bit where she has like chocolate cake on her nose and he has to like wipe her nose away, but because she's already got quite a sort of big nostril that goes into a sort of beaky, she's got she's got a birdie face.
Yeah.
I think Fiona Shaw, isn't she? But yeah. Her.
Angular. Yeah, I think it is her.
I think that is her. She is the lady, the family who put Harry in the stairs. I think
she's
it is
Aunt
her, isn't
Petunia.
it? Anyway, that was a tangent, but Three Men
It was
and
a
a
good
Little
one.
Lady, yeah.
But the whole thing that everyone glosses over about that, them being really mean to her, is that it comes from childhood trauma because Aunt Petunia's sister was Harry's mum.
She lost her sister.
She lost her sister.
I've done that.
Who was...
We lost her. Blackpool, no. She's dead.
Sad. So is my mum.
Oh, you got a dead mum and dead sister.
Yeah. Oh, cheers.
Yeah. Your sound guy would have hated that.
Oh, did it make a sound?
The one thing they said is like barely move the microphone from away from your lips and don't bang the...
I just did that to be annoying.
Should we say just things with loads of P's?
Petunia.
Petunia! Back to where we were.
But as we know on a level, trauma comes from that.
But what we're meant to really care about is this poor little middle class boy under the stairs, not the woman who lost her sister and then was given a child to look after. They shouldn't have put him under the stairs though. But his under the stairs bedroom is bigger than some cupboards I've stayed in at Edinburgh Fringe Festival. I had to stay in a cupboard with what do you call a room with no windows?
Cupboard.
Exactly. Yeah, that was my room.
Even a prison cell has a window, I think.
Not one window.
Wow.
Just a cupboard up 7 flights of stairs.
Oh my gosh. How was it like? Was there a bed in there?
Yeah, like a mattress on the floor.
Oh,
and then a little slither of space for me to, I don't know, put pictures of my kids on the wall. And like 5 lines with a cross through all the years.
Counting down the days. What year was that when you were up there?
Oh, I mean, I went from 2011 to 2000 and... Well, I did 9 years break for lockdown. The last one I'll ever do was 2022.
That
I'd like to do it
rhymed.
again, but no, I don't want to do it. It's horrific.
Yeah, it's a lot of stress.
Yeah, it's really stressful. I like relaxing.
Me too. I had this whole breakthrough. You didn't come here to talk about my trauma, but I'm going to do it. I had a therapy session where I realised, because I'd watched this video about, we do have ADHD. I watched this video about Luxaria, the YouTuber, watching Asbo Teen to Beauty Queen, which was a series in the early noughties. And they were talking about these kids with Asbos. And they were like, they just pass the time. There's nothing for them to do, so they're just passing the time. And for some reason, the idea of passing the time hit my brain like it was the worst punishment in the world. And I was like,
time.
because I feel like there's relaxing, different. Putting something off, different. Watching telly, seeing your mates, different. Passing the time, because there's just an absence of all of these options. Just hit my brain like it was like hell.
Yeah, but imagine you're sat there and time's passing and you've got a little candle. There's some essential oils. There's a log burner in front of you. Yorick Schnaus is playing on the radio. He actually has a song called Passing Time.
Okay.
No, Passing By.
Okay.
And you just sort of sat there. Imagine your most busiest you were after you did the Versus show. Imagine that busyness, and if someone had just offered you a moment of passing time, just being sat on a chair, just looking at, or imagine you're sat on a bench and in front of you is a beach. Someone hands you fish and chips.
Delicious.
And you just pass time on a bench. It's different, isn't it?
It is. I am vegan, but it is different. Vegan fish. That exists. No, it's real.
You vegans are crazy.
Crazy. But I understand what you're saying, but that to me I would say is like meditative or like reflective or like a moment of calm. But it was like the idea of like passing time really hit me.
Was there a sense of loss because you're losing time when you pass time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were losing time.
Which is probably like an anxiety thing. That the idea of like letting it run through your like sand through the hourglass. Yeah.
It'll be linked to loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she didn't have... How old was she when she died?
72.
Because it happened not that long ago.
No.
Yeah. So it'll be linked to that. I mean, you're still in the midst of grief, baby.
This is true.
You're right in the middle of it. How many years has it been then? 4?
No, 2.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're right in the middle, babe. It'll be linked to that. I mean, we can go deep if you like.
This is lovely.
Even in this outfit. If you can't dress fabulously and talk about grief, then what is the point of living? Can't believe I just said that.
I kind of like it though.
Yeah, but I've just completely contradicted myself in one sentence.
It feels like it's a lovely...
Yeah, you were right in the midst of it.
Yeah.
2 years.
It's tough.
Were your mum and dad together?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel worse for him, to be honest.
My friends think I'm like an oracle of grief. Friends of mine who've recently lost people are just like, they'll be like, I'm doing this crazy thing. And I'm like, yeah, it's all part of the process, babe. I've just booked a holiday somewhere mental and I've got to be at work. Yeah, just go with it, girl. Just go, just let it flow.
That all makes sense. I went to Gran Canaria 2 days, 36 hours after my mum's funeral.
Have you got, have you had a period of going nuts? Or have you had to be work since it's happened?
No, I kind of like focused my brain. So like lost my mum, break up, Gran Canaria, came back, got a call to do Versus the World, went back on, filmed it. So we started filming Drag Race, I think 5 or 6 months after my mum's funeral.
Did it come up during filming?
Yeah.
Yeah? They look after you?
Do you know what? I was all right because I like had some good people on there, like Hannah Conda, who really like looked after me, and it was nice. And I knew like my aim was, wow, we'll talk about Buffy in a sec. We just really, it was lovely. I had like an aim. I wanted to get to the end. I knew the final outfit that I was gonna wear was based on my favorite picture of my mum. I knew why I was there, what I was doing, and like, and I did like a look based on Cherry Valentine, who passed away from my season as well. So it kind of was like grieving through drag.
Yeah, I did. I grieve on stage. I did. So I did it 5 years later, but you went straight away. You need a period of nuts, though. You should allow yourself it. Allow yourself to go crazy because you've got a card now. You've got a get out of jail free card for a bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If it helps, I'll get you a physical one.
A physical card?
A physical card.
Will you make it yourself?
Yeah, I'll make it for you.
That's kind.
I'll give you a physical card, and you just allow yourself to be a bit crazy and do crazy shit and be nuts because you're allowed to do that. You went through something horrific.
It is horrific.
Yeah, it's awful. It's the worst thing ever.
Do you find it quite cathartic, like using sort of like stage and comedy to sort of grieve in that way?
I used to. Now I want it all to go away. But I'm 13 years in, you know, lost my sister when I was, you know, I was too young to lose a sister, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then my parents were very sad for a period of time, which is hard to deal with. And I couldn't make them happy, which is hard for me.
Yeah.
I like doing that. But time is a great healer, as they say, and tragedy plus time equals comedy. You know, it'll get funny at some point. That'll be brilliant. Right now, it's not. Right now, it's meant to be beautiful. It's meant to be gorgeous and romantic and melancholy and grievy and like wear black if you like. I've decided, because I've already done Jenna and it was so horrific. None of the other deaths I go through in my life are going to be as horrific as that.
Yeah.
Because they're all in the right order of things. So I'm just going to go like full Scottish widow. When my mum dies, I'm wearing veils.
Like Queen Victoria.
I'm doing veils. I'm going to wear a big fucking hat. I'm going to get Hat and Spicy to make a black one of these. Full veil. I'm going to walk through like a stormy town, get someone to film it. I'll go full darkness.
I kind of like that.
Have you lost anyone before?
Like grandparents.
Yeah, fine.
Which feels normal. And also, I like, no shade, but I wasn't like particularly close to them.
Yeah.
So it kind of like hit and I was like, oh, it's really sad. I'm going to do really badly at this exam because my granddad's dead. But then like losing like my mum was honestly wild. Like, it's just like...
Was it expected?
If you ask the person that I was in a relationship with who said, yeah, she's been ill for ages, get over it. That's why we broke up. But it just isn't...
Oh, it's it's never, even when you know, it's a surprise. Someone phones you up, the phone call. Do you remember the telephone call? Do you remember the sound of the ringing?
I was on FaceTime to Lawrence Chaney, who won season 2 of Drag Race. And my dad, my phone started ringing, it said dad, and I went, I've got to go, my mum's dead. And like hung up the phone.
You?
I just knew. Weird.
One phone call.
Mm-hmm.
My mum's dead. It's mad that you knew.
You do feel it.
It's so mad when you do these jobs and you get surrounded by all the intensity of these fandoms. And they say really awful shit to you if you don't do what they want you to do or you haven't behaved in a way that they want you to on the show. And they say, I've had it with Strictly, people saying crazy stuff at me. I was on Weakest Link and gorgeous Amy, who was on Strictly, who's recently just got over a bout of cancer. She and I were on the same, it was before she was diagnosed. She and I were on the same episode of Weakest Link, and she's got some, like, her fans are really, really intense. And they sent me some messages that were basically like crazy death threats because I voted her out. I put her name on a board for the Weakest Link.
Yeah.
But whenever I have the most extreme things happen on these TV shows, my first thought is like, don't you know how sad I am?
Yeah.
Like, I wish you knew. I wish you knew how sad I feel inside, but that's not my job. My job isn't to show you how sad I am. My job is to make you feel happy, but you're making me feel sad. There was a poem. I used to do this. I used to cabaret night in this place that smelled like piss called Benny's Bar in East London. It doesn't exist anymore. It was a real pisshole. It was horrible, but it was great as well. But we called it the Painted Grin. And what was the poem? The poem was like, the jester doth his cap and bell and stood the mocking court before, but they could not see beneath the bitter smile the painted grin he wore.
Wow.
Gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, and like relatable.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. And that's such a fair point because people seem to detach like the humanity of the person from the comments that they make. Yeah. They think that you should be able to like deal with and be able to process like their thoughts and their feelings and their emotions, like they supersede your own. Whereas like face to face, no one would ever say that.
No, of course not. I mean, the ones that do, I just go to the police. Yesterday, someone drove by me and called me a fat and I looked immediately at the car and just memorised, and I got him in trouble with the police. Just did it. But that doesn't happen online. And the stuff that's been said to me as well is just horrific. But, you know, a lot of people do these things because they feel at some point in their life they felt sad or they felt othered, you know, and I think people forget that. But also at the same time, we get paid a lot of money to do a fabulous thing. Is there a part of us that should put up with this? That's a question to the group because I don't know what the answer is myself.
Yes and no. Like, I do understand the point that you make, but there are some things that are just like beyond the pale. And there are comments. Like, I've had moments where I've seen comments that have just like hit me so hard and so wrong at the wrong time that I will look at the person and I'll see, oh, that's where you work in this country, I could call them. I could screenshot this and send the email to your workplace.
Oh, I found someone when I was on Strictly. A lady called Barbara, lives in the Isle of Wight.
Shout out to Barbara.
She likes watercolouring and walking her dog on the beach. I found her. She sent so many messages. I had to. I went and found out who she was. I wanted to go and put a face, because I didn't like what she was saying, but then when I saw who she was, I didn't feel sad anymore.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know what the answer to that is.
Me neither.
It's just something that you deal with, really.
You grin and bear it. That's what the poem's about. Like, get on with it. But I do wish, I hope, like, anyone who listens to this and, like, might be someone who has previously or is contemplating making a comment or tagging someone in something or making a statement, you are so entitled to your opinion and your thoughts and your feelings, but you can say it in a WhatsApp group. You can say it to your friends. And, like, if you are in a situation where you don't have that group of people that you can share it with, then you can find a community that you can say it to privately online.
I know it's really annoying that I get to sit here in these outfits with fabulous people, and I have this and I've got that. And I know it's annoying because you've been told your entire life that having this and having this is a bad thing. And then you see someone like me getting to have a really fabulous life with this and that. I'm really sorry that that's happened, but I didn't get it because of this and that. I got it because I'm a fucking legend. So, Buffy, we haven't spoken about the theme of the podcast.
I guess in an abstract way, we've spoken about fandoms.
Yeah.
And that is the topic. And I didn't think that coming into this, we would have sort of like deep chats in that sort of way, especially with such a camp and fabulous hat.
I can't move my head. I definitely am. I have definitely popped in the L1, you know?
Yeah, a little bit. Might need a little osteopath.
Tim Dalgale is my osteopath.
Really?
Yeah, you should go with him. He's brilliant. He does all the girls.
Oh.
He's like the queer osteopath in London. He's brilliant. He's got a clinic called Fix Me. He's great. He's fabulous. Sorted me right out. I was all upset because ever since Mighty Hoopla, I have had a funny feeling in my leg. But I did my ACL years ago doing a scissor kick to PJ and Duncan's Let's Get Ready to Rumble in Bethnal Green Working Men's Club.
As you do.
And on Watch Us Wreck the Mic, I did it on Psych, down. So I always think, and when I was on that dancing programme, I didn't hurt my knee once. I had a problem with my fourth metatarsal, though, on my right foot. From the hills.
Is that a toe?
Oh, I had a toe.
That's a toe?
Yeah,
it's a toe. I was like, I don't know what that is.
I was like, yeah, it's a toe. But because I had a slight incline on, I didn't wear the heels. I didn't. They handed me a pair of the tango shoes, and I went, no. And they were like, yeah, so we're going to make your clothes out of ASOS clothes, and I was like, no. No, we're not. I'm having custom. That's what I'm having.
Did they actually say that?
Well, they didn't say it, but they started like showing me stuff from ASOS, and I was like, "Girl, I've been on ASOS. I know everything that's on there." And no, I swiped left on these outfits when I was on there. They I made them make me custom.
As you should.
I didn't want to wear ASOS.
No.
Any fat girl that watches me on Strictly Come Dancing can spot plus size ASOS clothes in a second.
Yeah.
There's no way. Yeah, more fourth metatarsal, nothing to do with my knee, and so my knee started hurting after Mighty Hoopla, and I had a worry that my ACL had re-ruptured or something, and I was really sad about it. I was like, oh my God, I've eaten my way to disability. I'm going to be on a scooter. Nothing wrong with that, but it's hard when you first get on one. And I was so upset. I was like, no, I'm going to have to lose weight. I'm going to have to get on Ozempic. Oh my God, I'm going to look like Sharon Osbourne. Oh my God, I'm going to get on Mondrian. I'm going to have to do Ozempic. My nightmare is having to do Ozempic.
Why?
I just don't want to do Ozempic. It's a nightmare. Like, what are you doing? Giving yourself something so you don't enjoy food and you shit yourself.
No, they shit the bed. They actually do.
Yeah. And especially if you are watching this podcast, I'm guessing of queer adjacent, and specifically people who have queer sex in the bottom.
Oh, valid. I had not thought about that. Yeah.
I've been to a chemsex party. That with Ozempic in the mix. Not for me. I was there for 8 minutes. It was a booking error.
Was it actually?
I wasn't meant to be there, yeah. Oh. Just by mistake, I got invited. They were like, do you want to come to a party? And I was like, yeah, great, I'll come to a party.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to go to a party? And everyone just shot everywhere because of his armpit.
Oh, anyway, very
terrified.
quick.
Sorry, yes.
Knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought I'd done my knee. And then Tim Dalgell was like, it's nothing to do with your knee. You got a tendonitis.
Oh.
And I cried on him. I went, thank you. So I treated myself to a real good slap at meal after that.
That's the moral of the story is get a good osteopath.
Get a good osteopath and you can be as fat as you like.
The conclusion, the journey that we've been on today, I feel like the solutions have been professional help on like every rung of the ladder.
Let's be honest, this has been ADHD, the podcast. We have not stayed on one topic once. I don't know how I got back to the knee then, to be honest. My brain was going, I was like, stay focused, Jayde, stay focused, Jayde. But I was off and then I got back to the knee and I don't know how I did that, but I did it. We still don't know what we were talking about beforehand.
No, but this is how I want the podcast to end, is right now, Editor Richard, insert the clip of what we were talking about before that bit.
Now, my mum recently said to me, she went, so what, are you into girls now? And I was like, shut up, Mum! I all of a sudden became 15. I'm not having a coming out. I'm not having like a parade. I'm not going to like do a Guardian article about it. When I was on that famous dancing show, everyone was just trying to find out what I am the whole time.
That's weird.
I'm like meant to be doing ballroom dancing. Didn't know this was about scissoring. It's so weird when they choose that everyone hates Blake Lively at the moment.
What's she done?
Well, apparently she's too confident. Trying to do a Barbenheimer, but
Yeah.
it's all PR. We know what that sort of stuff's like. We've got our own Simon Jones PR.
Yeah.
And we'll never know.
No, we'll never know.
Do you listen to your own podcast?
I don't listen to it. I like the clips,
Yeah.
but I find it difficult to listen back to it.
I watch everything I do.
To be fair, yeah.
I'm
Sometimes I do watch it, actually. Let me not lie.
I need to know when I'm funny, and you can only do that by watching yourself. I want to just see what's good, because I'm a really good judge. I'm a really good judge of myself. I'm not a harsh critic.
Okay.
I know when I'm good and I know when I'm not good. So I like to have a watch.
I've got better at that. I used to be like, everything's terrible, girls. And now I'm like, oh, good for me.
Yeah.
It is that.
It helps when you win things, I find.
Very true.
It helps when you make more money and win things.
Yes.
You can be a lot more observational, which is something that we should all learn from.
You're referring to my 2013 nomination for a Les Enfants Terribles Awards. Thank you.
That's exactly what I was.
Yeah.
God, that was hidden. And you got there.
Now you all know.
I got an idea.
Okay.
Why don't me and you get ourselves now and go to the Gay Times 40th birthday party bash?
That's where we're heading.
That's where we're going now.
We'll take lots of selfies in our matching looks.
You can actually hear me talk about Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Mastermind.
True.
Yeah.
Very true. If
So
you wanted that, that's where it
Instead,
is.
we just spoke about fandom and grief. God, another fucking podcast where I talk about my dead sister.
It's important.
Someone the other day got in touch with me to talk about grief, and I was like, not again. And I come on here. We're meant to talk about like sort of sci-fi and fandom,
Fun
and I've
things.
got on grief.
But it comes out in mysterious ways. Grief is like the Lord, works in mysterious ways.
When you meet another grief sister, that's the one. You're like, oh, okay, I get ya.
We're twinning in more ways than we
I know where
thought.
you are at 2 years.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Grief. I think we should just end on the word grief.
Yeah.
Yeah, grief.
There you go.